Hello everyone, my name is Professor Gatr and welcome back to the channel. Pokemon is the biggest media franchise in the world, and for very good reason. With games that are so popular that they pretty much took over the late 90s, a card game that is played around the world and still has players searching for their coveted Orange Dragon, and a TV show that fans have watched for almost every week for the last 20 years, it's no wonder that Pokemon is as popular as it is. If you're like me, the games were your introduction to the franchise, and as you get older and find new ways to play these games, you're also looking for new ways to experience the world and its characters. Fortunately, Pokemon had already thought of this and has been providing ways for fans to experience the story presented in their games in a different and more engaging way, and they've been doing this since Pokemon Red and Green. How, you might ask? Well, let me introduce you to the Pokemon Adventure series, or as it's known in Japan, Pokemon Special. Written by Hidenori Kusaka and illustrated by both Mato and Satoshi Yamamoto, Pokemon Adventures debuted in March 1997. The story follows the adventures of the different player characters of each game and their experiences as they go on their Pokemon journeys. While Satoshi Tajiri, Pokemon's creator, has praised the series as the most faithful interpretation of the world he created, this series is not talked about as much as the games or the show, and I continue to wonder why that is. How can a series that is this good not have more fans? For this series of videos, I will be reviewing the different chapters in the manga, and will be helping to bring this fantastic creation of Kusaka's to a wider audience. To begin our series, we will be discussing perhaps the most well-known chapter in the series, the Red, Green, and Blue chapter, consisting of volumes 1 through 3. This chapter centers around the travels and adventures of Red, a trainer from Pallet Town. One day, after showing off his knowledge about Pokemon to the other children, Red hears about Professor Oak and how he might have more knowledge about Pokemon than even Red does. He then decides to pay Oak's lab a visit, and accidentally releases all of Oak's Pokemon. After Red returns them, Professor Oak entrusts Red with a device that records and displays the data on Pokemon, the Pokédex. After this, Red makes it his goal to complete the Pokédex and become the strongest trainer in Kanto. Throughout the chapter, we get to know Red and see his personality. He's got a good heart when it comes to Pokemon, and is often the first to help someone when they need it. Red can also be a bit of a hothead, and often runs into situations without fully thinking things through, but he always finds a way to retain his cool and come out on top. Red has a rivalry with Professor Oak's grandson Blue, or Green as he's known in Japan, that develops into a deep respect for the other as the chapter goes on. The best interactions the two have come in Chapter 18. In it, Red and Blue accidentally switch Pokemon, and spend the chapter training the other character's team as they would normally train their own, with each character's team developing a bit of personality of the trainer that they spent time with, before being returned to their own trainer by the end of the chapter. Red also has another rival that was created exclusively for this series, Green, or as she's known in Japan, Blue. Green was modeled from the concept art of a third female trainer for the original games that was never used, and she has by far the most memorable personality out of all the characters in these first 3 volumes. Red also encounters the Kanto gym leaders in the series, and gets the chance to interact with them outside of battle, and some gym leaders even appear over multiple chapters. Misty travels with Red for a bit and gives him his Gyarados. Erica has Red track down and help Eevee that was experimented on by Team Rocket, and Blaine is revealed to be the scientist behind the creation of Mewtwo. Team Rocket are the main villains of this chapter, and their goal is to capture powerful Pokemon, including the elusive Mew. They even have some powerful allies in Lieutenant Surge, Sabrina, and Koga, who are revealed to be admins of Team Rocket and act as final bosses for Red, Green, and Blue to take on during Team Rocket's attack and takeover of Saffron City and Silph.Co. Giovanni also plays a role in the chapter, appearing before the major battle in Saffron City to help Red make his way through Diglett's cave, and giving him the old Amber that will become his Aerodactyl. While Giovanni does not take part in the final battle in Saffron City, he does attempt to get Red to join Team Rocket when Red comes looking for the Viridian City gym leader in a later chapter, and provides Red with the most intense battle of the whole Red, Green, and Blue chapter. After that battle, Giovanni disappears, but will be seen in future chapters in the series. One of the many aspects I like about this series is that the trainers seem to be way more involved in the battle than compared to the games or anime. For example, at the end of the Pokemon League, Red and his Pokemon are the winners because they are the ones left standing, while Blue and his Pokemon are not. It's a lot better than just having them stand around while the Pokemon battle like they do in the games and anime. It really makes you feel like Red and his Pokemon are a team. This series also shows that being a Pokemon trainer is no picnic. Red is constantly seen being in danger during battles or from wild Pokemon, and after many of his battles, he sometimes comes out looking more roughed up than his Pokemon. It really makes you feel the danger that is present in wild creatures that can both breathe fire or shoot out electricity. Even though I really enjoy these volumes a lot, there are some things I feel were not done as well. While I enjoyed getting to see the gym leaders outside their gyms, I feel as though the gym battles aren't as important as they are in the games or anime. While the badges do come into play in the final battle against Team Rocket in Saffron City, I felt no weight to the moments when Red did get a badge. Unlike when Ash gets a badge or when you get one playing in the games, it felt as though the badges were a second thought when writing the story. Another aspect I feel like could have been handled better was the Pokemon League at the end of the chapter. The Pokemon League at the end of the games and in the anime series is usually set up ahead of time and is seen as very important. But in the last volume, the whole league takes place in only 2 chapters, with the first consisting of the whole league up until the final round. And the second chapter contains just the final battle between Red and Blue, which unfortunately feels very rushed. While there are some things I felt the 3 volumes didn't handle so well, another aspect that they seemed to do right was the foreshadowing for future stories that would be told in the series. We are introduced to the main character in the next arc, Yellow, in the couple of chapters before the Pokemon League, and we get to see her interactions with Red that lead to her becoming a trainer. Readers also get a quick glimpse of the antagonist of the next arc, the Elite Four, during the Pokemon League chapters. Also in the Pokemon League chapter, we get the backstory for Green, and set up to learn more about why she is afraid of bird Pokemon, which will be covered in the Gold, Silver, and Crystal chapter of the series. Overall, I have to say Kusaka and the team behind this series really do an excellent job of bringing the world of Pokemon to life through these panels, and I'm always excited whenever a new chapter of the story is released. If you haven't checked out this series, but are interested in doing so after this video, I highly suggest you do so. The volumes can be easily purchased on Amazon, or you can find them through online manga websites. In the next video, we will be covering the Yellow chapter in the manga, which I hope to have out next month, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for checking out the video. If you enjoyed the first part of this video series, please hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next part. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you all in the next video.